Hello everyone, welcome back to A City Planner Plays City Builders. Today we are building the city of Bluffside Crossing. So in the comments I saw an overwhelming amount of feedback saying that the rail lines that I had recently laid down were unrealistically bumpy. And I agree. The grades are really tricky in some of the spots, and without using some of the mods that are available for the game, it's difficult to get the rail lines to look good without grading first. So I probably should have graded if we're being reasonable, but I think it's time for me to embrace some mods that I haven't used. In particular, I used the Electric Road Tools mod. I did pick up Fine Road Anarchy, and I used Node Controller, which I always struggle bringing up. Let me see. Yes, not going to be able to bring it up. Oh, there it is. So I used those tools in combination to level out most of the tracks that have been put up and add a little bit of detailing as well. So I want to go through the track and let you take a look and kind of see what you think. So I've gone through, I've done a little bit of detailing. I fixed this area back here, added a pass-through and a place for trains to queue. I have smoothed everything out. And in fact, I actually went through and did some work on other roads. This is going to be a lengthy process. I think I spent, oh boy, hour and a half working on some of the smoothing. And it's not perfect, but it is significantly better in my estimation. So you can tell that things just in general slope much better. If you see anything in particular that stands out to you, let me know, but I'm pretty pleased. Obviously these roads need some work, but I focused on the rail line. One place I did pay particular attention to was here behind the park. This was incredibly challenging grade, so I smoothed that out a little bit and improved it. I also just experimented a little bit over here in our new neighborhood. This is still one heck of a steep grade, but at least it's smooth now, I guess. So that's something. I also took a look at this, and now everyone is floating because it's smooth. And so you can kind of see how it changed things based on where everyone is. And it's going to be a long drop down for some of these people. Anyway, one thing I realized after the last episode was we actually have enough of our track completed to be able to unpause. So I think that's something I want to do. Okay, that one's going. This one's good. We want to extend this now to our terminal downtown. Okay. Actually, let's just eliminate both of these and see if we can get this to be on the right track. Okay, so that's working now. So I'm going to resume it, and we're going to see what kind of pandemonium ensues. Oh, things are just disappearing. Let's take a look over here, maybe. Everything looks good on our trail, on our multi-use path. Trains are over here. They're moving, and let's watch it a little bit. Let's see. See if there's any spots in my frame rates are stuttering a little bit here, so I apologize for that. It looks very smooth. Things are looking good. So I think we're in a much better spot with this now. So there are at least 2 more stations I want to place. And these are going to be the most complex. One in particular is going to be over by the Target. And I'm really interested in that station because I think that we have an opportunity for transit-oriented development. So that's something I'm going to be looking for. I also really think, you know, we don't really have any trains serving the industrial area. One should likely be over there. We're going to likely have to share track to get that one to work. That might be kind of a future episode when we build out this industrial area. We can build it over here. But for now, I want to build an over-the-road station in this area. This is going to be an opportunity to utilize our existing park and ride and really kind of up our game there. We might want to include structured parking now. It'll give a transfer opportunity. And I want to take what now is a national highway and upgrade that to probably a collector, maybe an arterial. The thing is, so this national highway is an arterial. So I want to follow roadway hierarchy at the same time. I want to get some residential in this area. Residential doesn't fare well on an arterial for obvious reasons. So I could take the arterial and lower the speed through the residential area. And maybe that's the approach I take. So let's get started with this. I guess I should tell you where the other station would go as well. In this general area in Lynch Square would be where the other station goes. So I want to get these stations placed first, and then we'll do the track later. So let's take a look. I have a few different assets, and I'm thinking that something like this single elevated station could work well. Now the thing about this is I'm going to have to delete some of, I'm going to have to use Anarchy to place this and then delete some of the things going on. So I might just place it over here to take a look at it. Not realistic, but we'll have to make it work. Okay, so you can already see some of the challenges. So I don't know if this one's going to work perfectly because of the way the pedestrians load, but I think we might give it a shot anyway. Let's see, the only other option I have this ground bypass station. So when I tested it out with this. So I think we're going to give it a shot. And the way to remedy this, I think I am going to make this a collector through here. And then what we're going to do is I'll get rid of this one. We have plenty of money, so we can certainly add and delete stations. Super realistic. So I think we're going to place it in this general area. So we'll turn Anarchy on. We might inadvertently demolish some things. I'm going to try to make it as minimal as possible. Oh, and I hate the location of that. Let's see if I can undo that. I cannot. Okay. And they're happy with that too. I guess this is just a really agreeable bunch in this area. Let's pause. We're going to do some damage. Okay. So let's give this another go. Alright, so I'm going to place this here. I think what I'm going to do is replace that road that was there with pedestrian paths. Okay, let's look. The trailer is not doing so well. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is extend this first so we keep it square, and then work on this connection. It'll be a little off, but that's okay. I think we're already connected over here. We broke our path a little bit, but that's fine. We have to fix paths in general over here. We might just want to replace this one altogether, considering it's now going to be underneath a train track. Okay. So let's move this just a bit. I want to make sure it's as straight as it can be where we want it to be. Okay. I think this is pretty good. We have some prop issues. Let's clean that up a little bit. Or some tree issues, rather. We'll have to replace some of these in the future. But for the time being, I just kind of really want to make sure that I can see what I'm doing. So it's unfortunate, you know, we would really want to maintain any trees if at all possible. In fact, planners often list you know, preserving existing trees is a condition of approval for projects because it takes so long to grow those trees. But we've got to do what we've got to do here. Okay, so we've got our new station. So we need to get our track to line up. Now I'm going to be very blunt with everyone. I'm going to build this now, and I'm going to fix this offline. And the main reason for that is it's very tedious work, takes some time, and I would prefer to do that offline. So let's see if we can't immediately get this over. And we're probably going to need to, let's see if there are pillars there. Nope, and that's pretty unreasonable. So I'll probably need to add some pillars. But for the time being, I'm just going to leave it. And I don't think we got far enough over on this side. All right, so I'm gonna get this over just a little ways. So I did read some other comments that I thought were interesting and worth bringing up. You know, comments about how it seemed as though, you know, it was kind of a struggle to get this train placed due to doing it too late. And I can understand why someone would feel that way. But the thing is, I think this makes a little bit more natural of a train track and transit system, because a city's not going to plan up front with you know, train tracks in mind. So as a result, I really enjoy putting these in after the fact. Okay, well, it's going to be a struggle to be able to get this through here, and that's something that we're just going to have to work through, and it might include tunneling as a result. So I think that's the approach I'm going to try to take here. A pretty significant tunnel. I want to find the place where I need to do the least amount of tunneling, and it might be right here. All right. get that here, and then we'll start to bring it up again. Okay. So it certainly is, you know, a little more challenging to get this to fit, but I think it's okay. I think ultimately the outcome here is going to be very good. Just make sure this is straight. Okay, so here we're going to want to try to follow this shoreline a little bit. And this actually opens up an opportunity for us in the future, because we could now have a rail cargo hub over here if we wanted. The thing is, this is divided from this is divided from the passenger or the cargo, so that would be something we would have to remedy if we were to do that. Okay, so I mean, this is crazy at this point. I'm going to use all of my new skills to make this work. We'll see how I do. Poorly. Okay. So I think we're going to need to raise more of these up. And then we'll slope it down over time. Okay, that's crazy too. All right. We have lots of craziness going on. And it is my fault. Okay, I think maybe the remedy is to actually get this at the road height. Yeah, I think that just fix it up a little bit, and then we can start to slope down. Okay. So go back in here, clear that, and then start sloping down slowly. Okay. It's a little better. Now let's see if we can get our node controller on. Sloped. Make sloped. And I'll just double check all these nodes just to make sure. Whoops, and I added one. Okay. So I think we could do a little bit better here as well. I think the way that we do that is to raise the height a bit. And to, whoops, and to lower the height of this. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so I think that is significantly better. Let's go through and just do a little bit more sloping just to make sure. Okay. And then once more. Okay. Much, much, much better. So let's take a look. Oh, there's still a little bit of crazy. This is kind of where it is. So let's just give it one look. One last look over. The other thing is, it looks like we lost some of our bridging. The aesthetic of it. So, Fine Road Tools. It is a fine tool, and I should have been using it. So, okay, so we have this connection made here. I will, like I mentioned, need to add a pillar, probably in this area. I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll take a look at that at the next one. Obviously, some tree work needs to be done too. Not that important at this junction. Okay, so we need to make our final connection. So we've got to get to here from here. So I think I'm going to try to, again, hug the road where I can. And because of what I'm doing with this road, there might be some value in upgrading it to a, to a national highway in the future. And this is precisely why I haven't used this tool in the past. I'm not that good at it. Let's get rid of anarchy. Gonna have to back it up a little bit. So the other thing about why it's valuable to do this after the fact, from a demonstration standpoint, I think is really thinking about the way that eminent domain works. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this on the outskirts of the city right now is that you wouldn't really see this. You wouldn't see the city using eminent domain as a tool to be able to accomplish this kind of a build. As much as I think all city planners would love for a city to commit to that, that is a very risky political proposition. You also end up with things such as what planners lovingly refer to as spike strips in some cases, and what that is a landowner has their property divided by a new right-of-way, and they end up with property on both sides of said right-of-way, and as a result, they could have a 10-foot wide strip of property that they own. Not very useful to them, not something the city wants, so as a result, it kind of just stays there. And then someone goes to develop in the future, and they're unable to do so because that strip of land exists. You can't punch through a road without using eminent domain again. It can be considered a takings. If you were to take the property and give it to another developer, that's, oh boy. Let's talk about how frowned upon that would be. So it ends up kind of being this weird strip of land. So it's often in a city's best interest to not just use, it would be in the city's best interest to actually develop this sort of infrastructure on the outskirts in a green field because of that. You don't end up with those sorts of issues. Okay, I think this is too close. So that was kind of a little bit of a mistake on my part. So I'm going to give this road some breathing room. It'll give us a place to put some landscaping in the future too, to act as a buffer. we're going to have to do some work to get these slopes right anyway. So why not make some slight modifications to get this to be exactly where we want it to be. The nice thing is, at this point, everything is connected, even if it's connected poorly. So, let's see. Let's get back to Electric's Road Tools and get this craziness fixed. Actually, I've made many mistakes forgetting to clear my last selection. So I'm going to prevent myself from doing it now. Oh, that looks terrible. All right. So we might actually need to get this away from the road to be able to accomplish this. In any kind of seemingly reasonable way. Okay. I think I might just start over with a portion of this. It's at this point, if I'm going to redo that much, I might as well just redo it. My main goal at this point is to get this back to the ground in as quick a period of time as I can. Okay, so we've got that. Let's get out of all these tools, clear our selection, and give it another shot. Right, and I'll do just a couple nodes at a time, and hopefully that prevents the craziness we saw before. Okay, just a couple. Actually, let's just go. Let's just do it all. Oh, okay. Not what I expected, but that's okay. Okay, so I think we're good with this tool now. We can do a little bit of grading to fix things up a bit. And then we're going to want to look at the node controller one last time. Make sure that we are sloped. The one thing I wish that this tool did a little bit better was show where the nodes are. But it's honestly a pretty incredible tool. And if that's my biggest complaint, that's not much of anything. Okay. So I think we're ready for showtime. So let's get a line set up. I think I'm going to do one stop here. And I've got to find a way to separate these lines in the Okay, I'm gonna add it there in the future, so give me 1 second. So I think I don't want to start that merge too close to the curve. And I want to keep this on the ground. I'd love to do it without anarchy. Okay. Let's see, we have that line. Now we'll get back over here. second stop. Okay. That feels good. A couple more things we need to think about. We got rid of the pedestrian path over here, so we're going to need that. All right, we have this little area where we had our fence before. We will try not to demolish everything. All right, perfect. And we still need some sort of pathway across here. So let's just do something simple. This isn't going to extend, and now that I think about it, that was something I should have been thinking about. So it's still valuable to have this connection across the road. At least for the time being. Might need to actually back this up and loop it back around. Okay, this will be a good temporary fix. You can walk around the sidewalk, get around, and let's make this a little bit more reasonable. Now that we have our node controller, let's... I don't know why, it seems like every 5th click, this thing actually works for me. There we go. We'll clean it up. One last path I want to make. Just a quick connection here between, there's a lot going on with trees in this area. Just a quick connection between the parking lot to Target and this road over here. Okay, so now you have options if you are over here. So now in the future, and potentially in the next episode after we get our final station laid out, we are going to add some residential housing over here, high density residential. This is going to be our transit oriented development. We have a ton of transit in this area, high quality transit. We have shuttle routes. We have, and we might want to modify this shuttle. Right now it's pinging back and forth between our two commuter rail stops. That's fine. Actually, now we want to adjust these now that I'm thinking about it. So these are all allowing intercity, I think. At least that one was. This one, no intercity trains here. Only here. Okay, perfect. Well, let's see how it's looking. All right. And this is new. It'll get service to it. It'll get better. We're going to probably want to add parking over here, and we're going to add our subway stop in the future as well. And I'm torn a little bit about whether to have a subway stop in the tourism district. I think we're probably going to want to add an intercity or a bigger airport up here, and that will have a metro stop integrated into it. So we could use that and try to get it to our downtown area, recognizing that this is very built up. It'd be very challenging to get a stop for our commuter rail in here. The main reason I thought that this might be a good location is we do have a pocket of lower density buildings. And that's because these are the entertainment buildings. We could get rid of some of that if we needed to. Let me know what you think. Should we, instead of extending the commuter rail over here, add a subway stop instead, or a couple subway stops? We are going to have a subway that we're going to build shortly that will connect our new Union Station. Now that I think about it, let's see. That was requested in the comments, and I like it. Let's extend this down so we get some development occurring down here. What do you think about that? Should we try to get our rail over there, or should we just call it and get our subway extended out that way? I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope that I remedied some of the issues that everyone pointed out. I'm trying to get better with some of these mods. It's certainly a learning experience, but I think it's working well. Let's see. We got some passengers. Let's take a look briefly at how we're looking. Let's look at our trains. Oh, wrong one. There we are. And if it's going to be the target line, it probably should be red. Okay, so we have our target line. Let's see. So that's the line that's going out to Target. And 6 passengers. Wonderful. That will get better over time. Our other line's doing all right. And I think that as we let this sim a bit, we're going to see things really pick up. So, pretty pleased with how this turned out. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please consider liking it. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. And if you want to know when I release new videos, please consider hitting the notification bell. We are in crazy debt. Hopefully that resolves. My guess is the factories are in a rough spot. We'll take a look at that too in the next episode. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.